where it started, actually.
It probably started as a realisation that they were doing a continuation, IDW were doing a continuation of G.I. Joe and All-American Hero, with Larry Hama stepping back in as writer to pick up where he left off. And I think it made us all think that there was potential to do a continuation of Transformers. Because even though we kind of wrapped it up, there were a lot of things that we didn't address. The whole thing was kind of crushed into a couple of issues. So we definitely felt there was potential for a proper ending to that story, or a proper continuation of that story and ending. So I think that was where it started. And
we probably have slightly different memories of those, I don't know. That's essentially right, yeah. For me, how it started was the 6 covers that I did for IDW on the Transformers comic that you probably saw, the Rodimus Prime, Ultra Magnus, Optimus Prime, Megatron, Bumblebee, and Thundercracker, was that 6? Anyway, so I did the covers and they got in touch with me and they said, would you do some interior artwork? Would you be interested in doing a Transformers comic again? And I said no. And then they said, what would it take to get you to do some interior artwork again? I said, I'm really not interested. I love doing the covers, but I don't want to do interior stuff. But I thought about it and I said, well, there is some potential here. So my response to them was, I will do it as long as I can work with Simon. I don't want to work with any other writer. Not that they're not great, but it's like there would be no point really for me. And that we can have some of the themes and things that we were doing in the Marvel book continue into maybe a 6-issue series. And myself and Simon spoke about it, and we were kind of along similar lines. 6 issues, tie up all the loose ends from the Marvel stuff, get in, get out, take no prisoners, end of story kind of thing. And that's kind of where it was. And then it kind of sat in limbo for a long time, and the online petitions started and all sorts of conversations.
I mean, we had a lot of discussions with IDW about this. We talked to Andy Schmidt at length, we pitched ideas. Andrew and I talked about what we'd want to do with an issue 81 and what the kind of story was we wanted to tell. And we had very definite ideas. We didn't just want to sort of do a tail-end story. We wanted it to have some kind of weight of its own. A story that we felt was worth telling in its own right for however many issues we got. So I think, we had a lot of internal discussions, but there was a slight resistance, and I understand the resistance because, IDW has their own G1 ongoing, and now they've got 2, but now they have their own G1 ongoing, and they felt that, and they and Hasbro felt there might be a conflict. So, we felt very keenly that there was room for both in the marketplace because they were both very different beasts. But these talks sort of went on and faltered and then came back, and then suddenly it was all go again.
That's how that went. But they were great. I think the thing was that there were possibly some people in the editorial team at IDW who weren't particularly keen because their eye was very definitely on the G1 stuff that they were doing, or looking to do in the future. And other members of the editorial team who just thought they got it like we did, which was actually it would be really cool to finally tell the rest of that story, because the thing to get for a lot of older readers, I guess, is that that's where it all started, and for them that is the definitive kind of continuity, and that needs to be retold. Obviously, for other people, they don't care. They're younger and they've read all the new stuff, and that for them is the real stuff. It's like, who's your favourite Bond, I guess. It's that kind of, who's your favourite Doctor Who. It's the one that you first latched onto very often. But fortunately, the way that it panned out was that Chris Ryle, I think, was very much behind what we wanted to do, and he started to fight our corner as well, and eventually got Hasbro on board, who I think, I don't know about you, but my feeling is that Hasbro feel that it's a little bit of a thorn in their side, that there's this original Marvel continuity that won't go away. So there was a little bit of, in their response, there was a little bit of, okay, yes, you can do it, but you've only got up to issue 100, then shut up and go away. And it kind of felt a bit like that, but there we go.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think ultimately Hasbro felt that the original series had concluded, and you know, it took us quite a lot of convincing to Hasbro to explain to them that lots of things were rushed at the end, lots of things were never addressed. We never found out what happened with Grimlock and the Nucleon. We never found out what happened to Galvatron or Megatron even. So, you know, I just think, you know, after a while they came to see that there was a story to tell there. And I think ultimately they were just concerned that the thing was finished. And so why continue it? But, you know, I think we made a very good case for continuing and expanding what we've done.